I agree with Judge McAfee's decision in the Georgia election interference case against Trump and other defendants. McAfee recognized that either Fani Willis or Nathan Wade had to go. Wade resigned in response, and that is not a win, in my opinion, for the defendants, assuming Fani Willis hires a lead prosecutor who is more experienced in trying this kind of case than Wade, and that should not be difficult. Reading from the relevant part of the decision, and I quote, "The court finds that the defendants failed to meet their burden of proving that the district attorney acquired an actual conflict of interest in this case through her personal relationship and recurring travels with her lead prosecutor," end of quote. He then made this relevant finding, quote, "However, the established record now highlights a significant appearance of impropriety that infects the current structure of the prosecution team, an appearance that must be removed through the state's selection of one or of two options," end of quote. The option that has already been selected is that Nathan Wade will resign. And that means Fani Willis can stay on as a prosecutor in the case. Trump is primarily interested in delays, so he will try to appeal this interlocutory order, which is a legal term for a non-final order. To appeal an interlocutory order, Trump will have to convince first Judge McAfee to permit an appeal using a legal standard that is difficult to meet. Then the appellate court, applying the same standard, would have to agree to review the order. So there are two hurdles there that Trump would have to jump through. Both consents are required. I suspect that both Judge McAfee and the appellate court will grant the motion to appeal. Why? Well, if the case is tried and results in a conviction, it may be overturned on appeal for the failure to remove Willis from the case. And that is not the desired outcome when you're looking at just judicial efficiency. The judge's criticism of Willis and his order is justified. I would think her career as the DA in Fulton County is over, and she should not run for re-election. She showed bad judgment at a minimum in several aspects of this matter. I don't think Trump wins much by delaying this Georgia election interference trial until after the election. If he loses and he creates another nightmare after the election, that may provide the optimal conditions for a guilty verdict in the Georgia case. If Trump wins in November, he cannot pardon himself for a state criminal conviction. Delay may also provide a window for the documents case trial, where the obstruction of justice criminal charges are the ones most likely to succeed in all the criminal cases that are pending against Trump. I'm assuming that Judge Cannon does not completely muck up the case with erroneous rulings, or does something like dismissing the charges after a jury is selected, which is when double jeopardy, a constitutional right provided for in the Fifth Amendment, attaches, and the prosecution could then do nothing. Trump would just walk. I cite two Supreme Court decisions on when double jeopardy attaches in a criminal trial in the more section below, which I found after a minute or so of research. I did not delve very deeply into that issue. The delay in the New York criminal trial is not a victory for Trump either, in my opinion, since that trial depends too much on Cohen's testimony and will be most difficult to win for the prosecution of all the cases that are now pending against Trump. If the delay provides a window for the documents case to be tried before the election, then a delay in the New York trial is not good for Trump.